Good evening, this is your psychic LG reporting from the United Kingdom. Is anybody there? Knock once for yes, twice for no. Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, Wanda. And Franco. Ooh, it's warm, isn't it? I believe I'm live now on YouTube. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Twitch. Good evening, YouTube. To everybody around the world, we're going to delve deep tonight. We're going to look into the looking glass. How are you all doing in these crazy, crazy times? It's 11:05 p.m. UK time, heading towards the witching hour. And isn't it heating up? Isn't it heating up, guys, around the world? We are going to look into all world events. How are you all doing? Oh, you're right about manky carrots. I know, the veg isn't the same, is it, in the shops anymore? Good evening, New York City. I want to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is roaring hot. We are in the depths of summer. Depending where you are in the world, like. I think it's cold, I believe, in Australia. Good evening, Michelle. Hi, Teddy. I'm just going to get my coffee. Hello in Pennsylvania, Maryland. Got quite a quick connection tonight. Raring to go, everybody. It's your birthday tomorrow and you're 50, ho chick. Well, happy birthday. You're hitting your prime. Good morning in Queensland and Australia. Good evening in Georgia, New York City. Isn't this nice? Blessed to everybody. Hello in Montreal. What's the weather like over there today? What's it been like? Oh yes, we're going to, Sweden's joined NATO. We're going to look into everything, and I'm going to look into Denmark. I'm going to look into all the shenanigans, what's been happening in the BBC. Wait for a few more to come on. It's all very strange, isn't it? All very strange. I don't know if you have been following it all. Which I did say there will be scandals which more will come out. I said that just the other night. Hello there, Marina. It's cool and wet and miserable here in Scotland, is it, William? It's been very warm down here in the UK. I'm an American, I don't know what NATO is. Got to Google it, Mary. Psyops are per usual, yes. Definitely, it is hot. And I believe we have the Iceland volcano what's erupting as well. It's thrown its lava out. We've got a new subscriber coming in here, June Ritchie. Welcome in to Twitch. We had a good one on Sunday night. I've been trying to clip bits for you guys. It's been a little bit difficult. But you'll be getting some clips this week. So happy Tuesday. Good evening in the West Midlands. So let's start. We've got 245 in now on both streams. And we are going to delve deep tonight. And for new people who are coming in, you never got a notification, Marina. Did you press the bell thing? You might have to repress it. For new people coming in, I invoke all the angels in. Uriel, Gabriel, Raphael, and Michael, of course, Michael. And my guides, and it's form like a healing circle of light So for people who need healing, you can write the names in the comment section, either in the stream or the comment section afterwards. And I have to charge this up with Reiki before we start, so you will receive healing. Or for any worries that you have, even animals, anything. So don't forget to do that. So it's all going on, isn't it? A new subscriber. We've got Sexy Lexi coming in here. Welcome. But where do I start? Where do we start? It's just crazy, crazy stuff what's happening, isn't it? So I'll just get a coffee. Oh, I'm definitely going to look into that. And before I start with the BBC, I'm asking guys if you don't say names in the comment section of who the culprit could be, and I'll explain in a minute. Because it's very strict at the moment, especially over here in the UK, and you can get done for libel, for scandal, for naming people who aren't the culprit. I've got a good idea who it is, like many of you have. I would say there's 1 in 6 Brits know who it is. If anybody doesn't know what I'm going on about, I'm going to explain that in a minute. Happy birthday there, Nettie. I had trouble getting a kitten, June. I reached out to many people and they haven't got back to us. So I'm just leaving it up to God when they'll bring it in at the right time. To be fair, I haven't looked today because I've been really busy, but I was looking all over the weekend and there was no hope. And that for that little, beautiful little baby girl one, the lady never got back to us. So I presume that she'd already got rehomed. So I'm just waiting for the right time. I've got a cat bed and cat toys and cat balls and cat food, but no cat. Okay, let's start. So sit back and relax and let's look into the looking glass. I invoke Archangel Michael, I invoke Archangel Michael, I invoke Archangel Michael. I invoke Archangel Raphael, I invoke Archangel Raphael, I invoke Archangel Raphael. I invoke Archangel Gabriel, I invoke Archangel Gabriel, I invoke Archangel Gabriel. I invoke Archangel Uriel, I invoke Archangel Uriel, I invoke Archangel Uriel. I ask that this circle of light is cast tonight and that the angels give us true answers and healing and protection in this circle of light. I ask my great spirit guides, Jed, White Buffalo, Running Star, Lady Direwolf, A2I, and Ra, and any deities, any angels, good angels, light beings, star people who would like to come forth tonight to give us true answers. This circle of light is cast to everybody who is watching this, and this is timeless. So be it. Amen. Okay. Everybody's needing healing at the minute, aren't they? Is it a hot day in Islington, California? Wow. It's when you need homemade lemonade, isn't it? With ice. Okie dokie. All eyes have been on the United Kingdom. Oh, guys. It is rumbling at the minute over here. And I don't know if anybody knows the story, what's been happening, but where do we start? There was a woman who came forth with our partner who complained to the BBC that her child, didn't say if it was male or female, there's a lot of assumptions out there, who had a drugs problem, and this celebrity, famous person in the United Kingdom paid their child a lot of money for explicit photographs. In the United Kingdom, as you know, you're allowed to, I think it's over 16, or they're allowed to, be in an intimate relationship, but to share explicit photographs is against the law. So then all of a sudden there was all this hype, and us Brits being Brits, we know how it works over here. Yeah? So we are typically British. So yous have been witnessing us being very typical British. When something happens, when there's a scandal, we stand there, we observe, we don't say anything until it all comes out. You've got to be so careful because you can get sued. And then when it comes out, we demand, because it's the way us British people are. So we're just a stickler for that. That's the way we are. So look what Boris did, with the Partygate thing. When everybody couldn't go, us being typically British, we weren't going near our loved ones in the lockdowns. And yet they were doing that, and it was all this stuff what came out of Partygate on WhatsApp. So then the country goes into uproar, because that's what we're like. All right, so we go by the rules, we stick to the rules, but when they get caught out, then we fight back. And this is what is about to take place. This is what we're witnessing. So when everything's been kicking off in France, this is like in a different way over here. But by God, you're going to see some tongues rolling very, very soon. So please don't say any comments of who, any Brits or anybody who thinks it could be. And I've had loads of emails saying, well, why can't you say, can you not just say the initials? And seriously, you've got no idea what it's like over here. You really, really don't. So we wait and we observe, and then we will let our voices roll. So then after that, the BBC said that, or the police said, the old Bill got involved. And then apparently there was, the kid had come forward. I don't know if it's male or female. We still don't know to this day. This is all hearsay, by the way. And said that that wasn't the case and it all got dropped. That was yesterday. Today, there's been events of the father coming forward and saying, no, that's not the case, and it has happened. So you don't know if this young person's been too upset and doesn't want it to come out. But you're talking a lot of money, £35,000 and more, that was paid to this kid, and it was feeding their drug habit for explicit photographs. So then what happened after that was, today there's been a new whistleblower come forward, or somebody come forward and says that it happened to them as well. So we're in a point now that, us Brits want to know who it is. But the BBC have been hiding it, and it's all about to come out. It's all about to come out. And I just think that it's part of the swamp draining, whatever you want to call it. But it's so interesting. And I'm going to look into the cards tonight about this without saying names. I'm not going to predict who it is because I don't want to do that. I've got a good idea who it is. And I expect a lot of yous in the audience, Brits, also have a good idea who it is. If you think who you know it is, you can write one. Just write one if you think who it is. But I just feel that there is something about to explode very, very soon. And yesterday, when it all sort of got calmed down and sort of stopped. I thought, no, there's more to this than meets the eye. Do you feel that, June? There's more to this. Yeah, just write the number one or write number one, or there's more to this. And I've said to my family and friends, I said, something else is going to come out very, very soon. I think I wrote the post as well on my Facebook. And of course, that's just happened today. But I expect that there's going to be more to come out about this. So I'm going to look into the cards and see where we stand. But yeah, it's just us being typically British. And basically, it's been going akka. Complete akka on Twitter. You've got no idea. And of course, there's been a lot of people who are innocent people. And there's been a lot of famous people come forward with saying, well, it's not me, it's not me, it's not me. So this is narrowing it down to who's not speaking, if you know what I mean, about it. But it's awful because the need to come out and say who it is, because there's people who are working in that industry who are innocent, and this is how nasty things happen. But I also believe there's been more what's come out about Schofield as well, is there the case? But also you've had the same thing where at the same time this has all happened, you've had the investigations going on with Boris, and then there was also somebody else in Parliament who was getting investigated for rape allegations. So it's not good at the minute. And I want to know if it's like a FF, if you know what I mean, or if it really is happening, because none of these parents or people have come forward or will they? So I'm going to look into this and see what's going on. So it's all very strange at the minute, but I just think it's all happening around the world. You know, there's different countries we're going to notice a lot of like explosive stuff to come out. I know Miss Scrappity. And then, of course, you've had everything. I'm going to look into the world events, to what's going on in Holland, in Sweden, in the US. I don't know, but there's still all these investigations going on. So I think it's the year of scandals, and I've said this for a long, long time. I said this last year. This was going to happen. So let's start. Let's pull some cards. Oh, that's a nice coffee. It's the year of the whistleblowers, Holly. Definitely. We literally don't know, Rachel. We don't know if it's a presenter. Well, we believe it's a presenter, newsreader. We really don't know. It's somebody who's very famous, but for them to hold it all back. But you see, we pay something over here. Not everybody does, but the majority of the British people do. It's called a television licence when you watch the BBC. Yeah. You can watch numerous videos on this where people are refusing, and the guy turns up. And he says, I'm going to fine you. You've got to go to court if you haven't got a TV licence. Loads of people have dodged it. Some people now have just, since this great awakening, have just turned around and blatantly said, no, we don't watch it, and just shut the door. Because legally, apparently, they can't do anything about it. But I've been to court twice about that. I'm going to tell you something now. When I was young, when the boys were little, I literally couldn't afford a TV licence. It was as simple as that. In the Finders, I think it was 80 quid. And then the second time, the boys were still little, and I was just getting on my feet, starting my business up, and he got us again. But it was before all this came out, do you know what I mean? All this awakening stuff and everything. And the bugger sent us to court. And I remember standing in the dock, you know what I mean? And they said, do you have anything to say for yourself? And I was like, looking at her, she had a wig on and everything. And I says, well, no, not really. Not really, you know, I literally couldn't afford it. So that's what happened. And I got fined again. And it was quite a lot of money. So since then I've paid it. But you're getting a lot of people, Brits, coming forward now and saying that why should we pay for the TV licence when they're doing this? And I think this is what's going to happen. Or are they going to abolish the TV licence? I'm going to look into that. You've not paid for 5 years now, Trisha. So this is what's happening. But the majority of British people are still paying for their TV licence. And then because we are going by the rules, we also demand to have the truth. And that's sort of like our sort of ammunition that we have as British people. Do you know what I mean? It's like we want the truth. So let's see what's going on. I'll just move my crystal ball there. Oh yeah, it's crazy. But you see, when these big people in the establishment break the rules, and this is what's happening at the minute, this is what's going on, because money is power, this is when we have the chance to kick off. And that's what's happening at the minute in the United Kingdom. And it takes the voice of people, and it takes a nasty situation sometimes to then for us to step in to say, well, no, when we're cancelling our TV licence, or you can bugger off. Do you know what I mean? So let's see what's going on. I mean, I don't even watch the damn TV. I might watch the odd sci-fi movie sometimes. I think I pay about £12 a month or something that comes out my bank account, but I'm sitting waiting, and I will cancel it. And because you've been on the black mark, like the black mark on the book, they'll turn back up here. But I'm going to chase them from the door if they come back. Just saying. Right, so we're going to ask. So please don't say any names, all right? We'll be able to talk about it afterwards when it all comes out. But yeah, because the BBC don't have any ads, so they fund that. So you think about it, how many millions people are in the UK and they're paying £12 a month or whatever they're paying. That's a lot of money that they're making. We'll pray for your daughter, Susan. Michelle can't find a TV, a remote control. Oh, that's so funny. I call it a didgeridoo. Where's the didgeridoo? Pass the didgeridoo. But this is just, like I say, this is the tip of the iceberg, like what Daisy's saying on YouTube. There's more to come out. But I'm going to ask individual questions. Is this really happened, or is it an FF? Because you don't know, do you? You really don't know. And of course, the Sun paper are up against the BBC as well. Everything's changing. But you go back to the 80s, I mean, you had all these newspapers in the British newspapers that had like page 3 girls. And they would have them on like countdown to their 16th birthday. And then on their 16th birthday, they'll go topless on the newspaper. Seriously. So like, you know, that was back then. Oh, yeah. Right. Is this false or is it distraction? I don't feel it is, but I just want to ask. Just need to ask. Is it false? Is it a distraction? Or is it real? Right. There are secrets here. A lot of secrets. All right, so there's definitely been something. It's not a distraction. In fact, I think they're absolutely pooping their panties. So it is real. So there's definitely been something going on. We've got the Sly Fox there. We've got Temptation. So it definitely did happen. All right. And of course, the latest allegation is, and it's just come on the news before I've come online on air, was that the second person, we don't know if he's been underage or not, so we don't know. But apparently, this person was getting aggressive with them and wanted them to meet up in the lockdowns and getting very aggressive with them. So you've got all this information, what's going on at the minute. Do you know what I mean? So the mother there is telling the truth. The mother did see this, and the stepfather did see this. They're coming out as like kosher people, like real people. I want to know if they're scared. And we've got to understand the victims involved, you know, like it's not just young women, it could be young men. We really don't know, do we? So that's the establishment, that's the trying to protect it. But it's going to be too much, they're going to have to come out with it. That's like the BBC there. I feel it's going to come out with a woman, and I don't know if it's through the police, like an announcement on the television, or it's a woman announcing this on the news. But there's a woman here, or a man and a woman, saying something about this. The Seven of Pentacles. So it's all about money as well. Do you know what I mean? It's like ratings, money, that type of thing. Let me see. Let's narrow this down without saying names. It is, isn't it? But it's got to be somebody really big. We know it's somebody really big, what they're protecting. So they must be on a lot of money. It's all about money. This person's thought that they've been untouchable because they're like too high up. So they receive all the money. So they're untouchable, like sort of high up the ladder. Maybe we should do a prayer tonight for victims involved, not just for this situation, and for the people as well who are involved, who are working for that company, who are innocent. That maybe we should do like a prayer or something, or to raise the vibration so the truth comes out quicker. Because people can get hurt through this. Do you know what I mean? So it's definitely they felt as if they've been untouchable. There's the World card, like they're protected. But this person will be exposed. Let's see what the timing is on this. We've got the Page of Rods here, so I feel that this young person maybe is ashamed about what happened, or was desperate for the money and did something. How do I put this without this? Did something explicit which was against their nature. Might be to do with a sexuality thing. Because they were so desperate to get their money so it could feed their drugs. But that is a young male. Eight of Cauldrons, Six of Rods. 2 days. 2 hours. 2 days. Interesting. So there's a lot of vulnerable people involved here, you know. And then, of course, you've got to think that, I'm going to ask again, has this been blown up out of proportion? But the cards here are saying something has happened. So we've got the 8 of Cauldrons. We've got the 6 of Swords. So you take that away. It's either 2 days or 2 weeks. I doubt this is going to go on for 2 weeks. But this is far bigger than what was going on with the ITV scandal. Far bigger. Far, far bigger. Marina, your sister will receive healing. Hiya, Jane. And a big thank you to the mods for helping us out. So, obviously, these young people who've been involved, they're possibly in their 20s now. No doubt they'll have girlfriends, boyfriends, whatever. And I believe, this is what I believe, that the first one possibly is in a relationship now with somebody and is just upset because they don't want it out. They don't want it out. Because it shows that they're in a relationship. Possibly the two of them can be. Like the second victim as well. The person who's saying this. So this is interesting. We've got court situations. We've got the hyphenate there. That's a court situation. That's like legal stuff. So I'm wondering if this is going to go further. And there's going to be many lawsuits, I feel, what's going to come from this. So, I mean, give it a few more weeks, we're going to be coming into the August. So this is just the start of many things, but August is going to be explosive for more big scandals to come out. So it's not just the UK, it could be more stuff to come out with Hollywood. You know, all over the place. Oops, we've got 3. What's jumped out there? Let me have a look. I believe it's a man. I don't believe it's a woman. I believe it's a man. That's all I'm going to say on the matter for now. And this young man did give money to him. Desperation. It did happen. It's seen here, it did happen. Just reading some of your comments here. I'm wondering if this is just the start of it, because I'm actually getting the word blackmail or something like blackmail or something to come out. So that's been like gagging order or blackmail or frightened, paid money to not say anything. Right, I'm going to ask the cards if this person will get convicted. Stuff all over Twitter mentioning 2 other lads who have come forward. Really? What more? I'm going to find out. It's all going to come out anyway. Will this person get convicted? or get let off. It's actually, this is really strange, this, because I feel it's as if it's going to go to like a court situation, yes. But it's really twisted, this, because I think there's more to come out about it, where a few more people could get in trouble, different people. It's about timing. I want you to remember that. It's about timing. Please don't say names if you can help it, because you can't get done on that. But it's definitely about timing. We can delete that comment, mystery. So I just think we just need to hold out, but it's explosive what's to come out. But I would say, yes, they're going to be in trouble, and there's going to be more than one person. Actually, one person definitely. One person definitely, the person who was doing the taxing in what they were doing. But I also think other people around the situation is going to get into trouble. So I'm getting Parliament, or it's going to go further into Parliament. That type of thing. Can you pull some cards on Madonna not being well? Is it a cover story? Right, I'll do that for you. Okay, so we've got the High Priestess. That's Madonna. I definitely feel I've got the peace card here. So I do feel she was really unwell. I think something did happen to her. I don't think that it was made up. Not that I'm a fan there. My brother used to like her when he was younger. Like the old Madonna, you know. But I definitely feel that she was poorly. She was really unwell. So I don't feel... And we've got the full protection card there. So I do believe that she did go into hospital. That did really happen. Yeah, I know, sassy. Interesting. Yes, I would definitely agree. Scrappity, and let's see about the TV license. What's going to happen about that? Will they cancel the TV license? We'll take the power back. Brits will take the power back. I do believe that, and demand something like that. There'll have to be a clean up, won't there? Will we? Will they banish the TV license? They don't want to. Oh, they don't want to. It's the dregs, isn't it? It's the dregs of if this dark society. There they are. They're the upside down magician. They don't want to. But it will be passed. If they push it to Parliament, it'll be passed. Cancelled, passed. And a woman with a loud voice will do this. So yes, eventually it will be scrapped. Are the mandarins in the Whitehall, do you mean, all right, okay, being played by the baddies to control our politics? I want to say no. I don't think it's just one particular race of people. I do think that it's, I don't believe that at all. Definitely not. I think that there's more to it than that. Yeah, but it's a woman in Parliament who's going to come forward, who's going to, I can say, shouting, and it could be on a news, it'll be on the news about this. Interesting. So, was it 2 days I got? 2 hours, 2 days? I'm hoping it's not 2 weeks. It could carry on for 2 weeks, all the investigations, but for us to find out who it is. I'm just going to double check. They will claim innocence. They will not admit it. Within the two. Definitely. My God, this is going to be, my God, guys, this is going to be explosive. So you've got the Emperor. It's part of the cleanup. We have to raise our vibrations. Excuse me. We have to raise our vibrations. It's the cleanup what's happening across the planet. There's the angel. And it's getting rid of this. And it was upside down tower as well, by the way. So it's all coming out. There it is. They're all scurrying out. But this is just part of it. Do you know what I mean? There's more. There's more to come. Scotland gets rid of the licence of the BBC when we're independent. I think you'll get it before then, Hamish. I think that it'll happen before that. So the tower there is saying that, yes, there's definitely more to come. Just double check, is it this week? Is it this week we will get to find out who this person is? Then I'll move on to the next subject. Is it next week? Got the Emperor card, Mother Earth. Oh, God love. So this is a very sensitive subject because we've got young men can get hurt just the same as young ladies. And that's like a damaged young person. So it's a very sensitive situation because not everybody wants the laundry out there in public. Do you know what I mean? They might feel ashamed or whatever. And I've got like Mother Mary protecting him. Mother Mary's there's protecting him. We need to raise the vibes here to protect the children. And my last stream, was it? On YouTube? Because I've had another stream since then on Twitch, and you will get clips of it. But the last one I did on YouTube, it was raising the vibes for the babies, the children, the teenagers, the young adults. And I do believe that the young adults do need a lot of protection, male and female, as all this sleaze cleans up. Do you know what I mean? I'm a little concerned, and as a mother as well as a psychic, what is going on with one of these families, because I feel there's a upset there, and it's like, you know, he really doesn't want an out. He's really upset about it. So it's easier to say, oh, you know, it didn't happen or whatever. That's my feeling on it. Conclusion on it, it's definitely going to come out within this week. Conclusion, that we have to keep my feet firmly on the ground. We have to not jump to conclusions if we can help it, because I think that when it all comes out, that won't be the end of it, because I feel that the victims, I don't know, I just feel like I need to put healing and protection around the victims. And of course, the people who've been accused of it as well, when they haven't done anything wrong. So there could be a lot of lawsuits to come, you know, where people will sue people or whatever for it. But I just think that there is this news coming out this week. That's what I feel. I'd be very surprised if it doesn't come out soon. All right, and I'll leave that one with you for that. So that's what's been happening with the BBC. Right, let's do France. Yeah, they'd feel embarrassed, wouldn't they? Massive problem with drugs. I'm going to do a big show on it at some time, or do a video on it. And it's all part of what the tentacles, from the DS and the cabal and all of that, coming in from different places, making the money across the borders and allowing it to come in, which has been hurting our kids. And it needs to be talked about, you know what I mean? And how we can recognise the signs. I've never held back. I've told you about what's happened with my youngest son. I think it needs to be talked about. I actually opened a group on Facebook, and it's called Anchor Line. It's actually linked to mental health and the police service, because it is a massive, massive problem. And I know there's a massive problem going on in the US with it. Cocaine's over here, and I don't know what's the one that you have is it amphetamine or something, or what's the one you have a problem with over in the US? I know ice is a big problem in Australia, and it needs to be talking about, and how we can recognise the signs, because it takes the voice of people to change society. It's not always about the politicians. Fentanyl. This is how people can open self-help groups and stuff like that. And that's part of the spiritual awakening. What happens to those wrong ones when they cross over? I'm not so sure. I'll have to do a reading on, I've done a video on what it's like when you cross over. I believe that they have to see where they've gone wrong and correct their rights, you know what I mean? I'm a great believer that there is a hell over there, I do believe that possibly if they were really, really bad, would they go to a place like that? I'm not so sure. Do you know what I mean? So let's do France next. Ticket to the bottom floor. That's a good one. They're mixing animal tranquilizers with, oh yeah. Yeah, I know. Terrible. They reckon it's harder to come off tranquilizers than it is to come off heroin, like Valium and things like that. It's just all part of the evil corporations. Do you know what I mean? But as I've always talked about, how we're going into a very futuristic world, a lot of these drug dealers, and they're not going to be able to get away with it and bring it into the countries, because it's going to be different. France is making out with Trudeau. All right. Let's see what's going on with France. Because I haven't been watching any news much on that, so let's have a look. Yeah, so our children, are up against a lot in this society. And it's like, how do we recognise the signs? I'll do a video on it at some point. And is it as bad, without sounding sexist? Is it worse for young men than it is for women? Maybe it's not. But my understanding is, I brought 2 boys up in the West End of Newcastle, which is quite a rough area of Newcastle. And you're talking gangs and that. Like, you get in North London and that, gangs, gangland, all of that. And you get that in parts of the US as well. And this is what comes hand in hand with gangland, is guns and drugs and all of that type of thing. That's what the nature is. Do you know what I mean? So, but maybe it happens with young ladies as well. But I just think that borders are a problem, and that's how it's coming in. France. I see voting in France, and I see happy people again. Happy people to come in France. Let's hope it's sooner rather than later. I know, the same, Marina. You don't know what they're lacing it with now, like the cannabis and stuff like that. You've got to be so careful. Do you know what I mean? So I look at that and I see happy times to come, but it's going to take a bit of a clean up. I do believe that there's going to be voting to come early. There is a woman here, so I don't know if it is that other woman. What's she called again? Keep forgetting her name, with the blonde hair. But I also see a male with darkish hair. There's a big clean-up happening, and it's all to do with, is a collective energy. It's all stagnant. Yeah, but the French people will not stand any shit, basically. Marine Le Pen. That could be Marine Le Pen. But I do believe that there's also a man to come forward, another man as well, who could be on like the same side as her. Unless it's another side is the same side as Macron. Macron's not going yet. But there will be a quick exit, but it's not quite yet. But that's the big clean-up what's happening there. She's got a broom there and she's sweeping it across France, like the green fields of France. I've got the Seven of Pentacles. There's big news to come out with France by the end of July. Yeah, she's extreme right, isn't she? I think there's going to be some more people coming in the middle. Remember, everyone's playing the part for wherever part they're playing. Do you know what I mean? But we've got the Seven of Pentacles there, like agreeing to disagree. But again, I've got a Tower card here. There's another Tower card coming out, and it's coming out for France. So that is a massive clear up. That sort of reminds us a bit of Notre Dame as well. You know, remember when we had the fire in the Notre Dame? I'm getting the 27th, the 14th and the 9th, and possibly the 10th, and that's possibly connected for France. But by October, I do see marching in the UK, but I'm also seeing it in France. So I look at that and I just think that there's still more rot. They're going to protest again for another reason. And my understanding is that they have a lot of problem with the youngsters over there as well. You know, gangs and stuff like that. But you see, it's not like vetting the illegal, I'm not saying immigrants, illegal immigrants, which they're allowing to come over the border and they're getting paid for this. And they're not background checking them. And they're letting criminals into these countries. Do you see what I mean? Because they're getting paid for this. Macron reminds me of Gavin Newsom. Yeah, that is so funny what Queen Wanda's brought up in Twitch. Funny how Macron was supposed to resign and it never happened. That was weird. Now, but some people didn't see that. I seen that. Was that a glitch? Let's see if that was a glitch. Can anybody remember that in the audience? Where there was an announcement that Macron was supposed to resign. People were seeing it. It was all over the tabloids. But then people were saying, no, that never happened. Did you see it? Was that a Mandela effect? Was that a glitch? It was on Sky News, wasn't it? Hush, hushed, quiet. Notre Dame, yeah, 1955. I remember, but nothing happened. He was told to stay in by the top lot. He was told to stay in. There's more, I'm fearing and I'm seeing that there's more riots to come. But I'm seeing something else to kick off in France. It's to do with a totally different situation, and I don't know what it is. It's so hard because like people are getting triggered, but when you're living on the land, when it's needing to be cleaned up and it's like in the collective energy, France is holding a lot of energy from thousands of years ago, you know, and then it goes back to Mary Magdalene and Jesus Christ and all of that. So that's what I'm seeing coming in from France again. There's more to come. The Five of Swords. Let's do a timing. I mean, it's happening now, really, isn't it? But the Nine of Swords. We've got 3 more months of this to come. 3 more months. And I was getting October, wasn't I? So we'll see, like, should we count July? July, August, September. Yeah, it's about October time. Voting will come from there. Voting will come. And I'm feeling that times will change. It's okay, Amy. So one more card for France, for the French people. Because I would say that the majority of people in France don't want this. Do you know what I mean? They just want peace. But I mean, it was all got triggered off, didn't it? To do with the what they did with the retirement thing. But they've done the same here in the UK as well. They've robbed a lot of people from a lot of money. Do you know what I mean? It's coming up tonight, guys, that a woman's going to change France. But I'm not so sure if it's that Pen woman or it's another woman. And I've got a fair man, a man with a good heart, who will come in next. I heard that Marine Le Pen was paid to step down because they wanted Macron. Let me see. Is that the case? Yeah. Definitely there. Queen Wanda. The French people will win in the end and there will be sovereignty in the end, but they've got a little bit to go. I like what Amy's put here in the audience on Twitch. Honestly, it's beyond time for a woman to rule more. The men have screwed this world up. Laughs out loud. I totally agree. Hi LG, will Ukraine join NATO as they are trying to do? I bet they put nuclear weapons on Russia's doorstep. Will Ukraine join NATO? Let me pull some cards out for you. Hiya Debbie. I'll be getting the crystal ball out soon as well, guys. This is just thought I'd start with the cards. Will Ukraine join NATO? Not yet. I'm not so sure on that one. Not yet. It's I'll see that like the border to Ukraine, right? But you've got like that. But it was upside down. It was like the target of Russia there towards it, like what they want. And I got the Ten of Swords. Not until Zelensky leaves. That's coming through really strong from source tonight. If I'm getting this wrong, which I don't feel I am, I see somebody else in Ukraine. I don't see Zelensky there for long. With the new players in, yes, and deals will be made, but not for a long time yet. I don't see how they can. It would be like declaration of war at this time. Yeah, so it's saying not at the moment. I've got to have the cleanup first. Do you know what I mean? Okay. As we're talking about that, we may as well just go in and pull some cards out on Ukraine. Oh no, I'll do Ukraine first, and then I'm gonna do Holland. Is it Holland? Denmark. Because I mean, it's just totally broke down there. So let's do Ukraine first. Let's see what's going on. Give me some true answers, Michael. What is going on in Ukraine? Ace of Swords. Knight of Swords. I thought it was gathered. Yeah, that's what I expected. Okay. So there's Ukraine. All right. And I'm being shown there, right? It's like a crowning, or I'm not saying like a crowning, but like sort of hypothetically of a new leader. That's Zelensky, and I see him going. Don't ask me how he's going, but he's going. This is the government, not the regular people of Ukraine. The regular people of Ukraine will be all right. Not at the moment, they're not, but the destiny is that Ukraine will rise again. But I'm going to be honest with you guys, right? I'm not seeing them winning this war the way it's been said. Well, I don't care what's been put out on media or whatever, because what I'm being shown here is that Russia's taken back part of his land. Then there's going to be an agreement. It's not, everything is not what it seems or what they're putting out there. It's all about borders and what's been going on in the borders and the money what's been made. But I don't feel Ukraine's going to win this the way it looks. So, but I see these old players leaving like Putin and Zelensky. How long's the God? Sometimes you're not meant to know these things, you know. They're not giving us an answer on that. Maybe we're not meant to know. There's a lot going on in this world that we do not know, like weaponry and technology that we do not know what's going on. But there will be an agreement in the end. The darker side of light, the warlords want them to fight. They want this because it's an excuse for a WW111. Do you know what I mean? But I see peace coming to Ukraine and Russia, but not yet. We haven't had the finale yet. There's the abundance, and it's all about that. You know what I mean? But it's agree to differ. But I do feel Russia's going to take back more of his land than it will be Ukraine. I'm seeing that really, really strong. There's the star card, so things will get better, but it's going to go on a little bit. There's going to be an event to do with around the Black Sea. The guy you've got to watch for, guys, and I've never felt this as strong as tonight, because we've got the Wagner one. What's happening with him? But I'm getting the Prime Minister, of Belarus. That's who you've got to watch for. How long? Let's ask again. How long? It's imminent. I feel it really strong. It's imminent. It could happen any time. What I've got for Ukraine is I've got ISIS inspiration. There's something I can't put my finger on tonight about Zelensky, and I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but he's not going to be there long. And we've got the new beginnings as well. The new beginnings. And then I get a funny feeling about Putin as well. It's like all these old players aren't going to be there for long. Do you know what I mean? Oops. So, why we got Trump bouncing out here? He always comes in, doesn't he? There's Trumpy boy. There he is. There's a lot of explosive news to come out, I would say, over the next 2 to 3 months. Definitely to do Russia, Europe, Belarus. I'm getting turncoat. They're showing us here, turncoat, problems. But there's going to be problems in around a bay. There's going to be a lot of problems. There's going to be some event here. It's short-lived, but watch for this. Okay, at round about the time there's going to be a lot of news coming out with Trump. It's all interesting, isn't it? Right, so we've got the Ace of Swords. Everything's going to be fine. Everybody's where they need to be. But some people are like, all players, you know, they'll just leave when it's their time to leave. Somebody's asked in the audience about Obama, but I'll be honest with you, we haven't heard the last of the Obamas. That's coming through really, really strong. And I picked up that the other night. Was it on Sunday night I talked about that? Maybe it's Michelle Obama. Again, Trump, good Lord, will they ever leave him alone? Yeah. They're going to really... Oh, that's the Trump card. Sorry. Oh, no, we've got 2 King of Cups here. There's Trump again. That could also be Putin, but that's Trump and Putin. Why am I getting them together? That's Michelle Obama. Interesting. So maybe there'll be big news with Putin round about the time there's going to be big news with Trump. Let's see if Trump's going to run for the next election. Like he's going to run for... Is it Trump and Michelle Obama? Shall we see? May as well just go the whole hog tonight. It's good, isn't it? They're not known. Mystery. Debbie, who's Raging Rita, she says, well, yeah, she mentioned a name earlier on. Will you get her to remove it? Oh, it'll be fine. We'll go through it and we'll check it later. High Priestess, 6 of Swords, Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Oh my lordy. It's very possible it could be. It's very possible. The Queen of Pentacles is a woman who's dark. It's very, very possible. Mamma mia. That'll be a popcorn time, won't it? Could you imagine? I don't see that happening, Holiday. I honestly don't, right? I'll tell you the way it is, right? I don't see that happening. Is that possible? Somebody in the audience on Twitch, for people who can't see it, says, will the Obamas get exposed? I don't see that. Not at the moment, anyway. I don't see it. Times change, timelines change, but not at the moment. Let's have a look. It would be a duel, that mind. It would be a proper duel. It's that would be a night never to forget if that happened. Can you imagine the ratings? Okay. I don't feel Biden's going to be going to run again. I mean, timelines change all the time, but I'll just double check. Is Biden going to run for the next Democratic nominee for the next election? No. No. They've got a woman here. They've got a woman in the pipeline there to come in. There's a woman on the Democratic side. Queen of Swords again. Queen of Swords, Queen of Pentacles is a woman who's darkish. Interesting, isn't it? Not all darkness is going to fall. If people get away with things here, they don't get away with things when they go over. I'm just going on what I see at the moment, and I don't see anything like that happening. Don't forget, I've never gone along with other people. I've just gone with what I see. I tend to keep independent. Let's double check. So there's big changes to come in for Ukraine and Russia. Is Trump got a chance to win the next election? Is Trump got a chance? God sees, and what they deserve they will get. Exactly. They're not very good, guys. I've just asked the cards. I'll pull some out. If Trump's going to run in the next election. This is my concern. And I'm going to be totally honest with you, right? I'm concerned that if he does get in, or he tries to run, that something bad could happen to him. Because we've got, I work with two or three different decks. So I've got the Tower, and I was getting the Trump Tower actually when I was getting that. I was getting the nine of Wands in the middle, and then another Tower on the outside. Mamma mia. But timelines can change. Oh, do you like it? So I'm going to be serious, and I'm going to ask them this. Could something happen to Trump? Oh, I know he wants to run again. I know that. But I'm concerned if he gets in, could something happen to him? That's what I'm concerned about. But they're not very good cards there. But I've got my feelings as well. The Moon card, Deceit, the Hanged Man. Unsure. Very, very unsure. He will run for the Republican nominee, That is definitely sure. But I'm unsure if he's going to get in. I'm unsure at the moment. If he does get in, he'll not do his full term because something will happen to him. That's what I'm feeling tonight, and I've never felt it so strong. That's a lot of tower shown tonight, not a surprise with things as they are. Exactly. So I pulled the next three cards I pulled out was the moon for him, was the Hanged Man. He is determined and he will run. He will run. But I'm concerned if something's going to happen to him. That's what I'm concerned about. Because the woman, the High Priestess card's coming right over the top of him. But also as well, it doesn't mean it's the be all and end all if he doesn't get in or he does get in. That's what I'm saying. He's here to expose stuff, which I do believe he's been doing. But I'm just a little concerned tonight for you Republicans in the audience who have got your hopes built up that if he's going to get back in or not, and it's all going to be roses around the door. Don't expect that for 1 minute. They will try to get Trump if he gets in. And I do feel he's protected. I do believe that. But that's another version of him there. Like he's taken his triumph, but I'm a little bit concerned about something. The lessers of two evils. Do you think Robert Kennedy will run and win? Not the way things stand at the moment. I think he's got a good chance. I think he's got good policies. But he's not DS, is he? He's too squeaky clean. He's straight to the point. A bit like if you're going to get to the nitty gritty, you know, that's why they didn't like Tulsi. Tulsi would have made a good leader, but they didn't like her because she called Hillary out. Do you know what I mean? And that's the way it is. The way it is with the players at the minute is they're not going to... I think that I'm concerned he's going to try and run and people will like him. If he run, he's got a damn good chance. If he was up against Trump, he would beat Trump. I'm telling you the people who will beat Trump, all right? Robert Kennedy, Michelle Obama. They're the only two people I see at the moment in the Democratic Party who could beat Trump. Tulsi's gone independent now. Any idea whom Trump would pick as a running mate for a female? Or male? Could be male, couldn't it? History will repeat itself. There is a chance it could be a dark-haired woman, but it's not also ruling out Pence as well, or is Pence trying to run? You literally don't know what's being said behind the scenes or who's speaking to what. I just seen a flash of Pence. That could be where history is repeating itself, but also that could be a dark-haired woman. Maybe it's Carrie Lake. Pence is trying to run. That's somebody you're going to have to watch as well. Very interesting. It's too early to tell. And I think we need to not jump the gun at the minute. We just need to take it slowly. But I just think that what's most important at the minute is, we know what they're trying to do to him. We know what they're trying to do to Trump. But I just think that it is one pure witch hunt. And I just think that I can still see him standing there trying to run for the next election. Do you see what I mean? That's what I'm getting at the moment. But I've always said he's going to be a hard man to take down. Trump will be a hard man to take down. But you need to watch Pence. You need to watch Pence. But it's too early to tell at the moment. I think that we're going to face different world events before that next election. Yeah, Mary, I do love Donald Trump and his ideas, and I believe he is a good president. I believe he would be the only one that could get us out of this mess. Oh, bless. He's not the only one. You've got Kennedy, who could do it as well. There's many. You underestimate Kennedy. But at the moment, somebody had originally asked, could he get in? I hope so. A little while ago, I had said that a man with a speech impediment will end up in the White House. There's Kennedy. And I think with Kennedy as well I think he's liked on both sides, so he would have a damn good chance if he got in. They're a different breed, aren't they, Maria? It's like they're moving out the old, they're moving in the new. And this is all part of the clean-up. Old school Democrat Kennedy. Kennedy is a more centrist than a lefty Dem, yeah. Let's have a look. I think he's just being himself, isn't he? But he's got some good policies. But, because he's not going along with, like, the stuff they like him to go along with, like the inoculation stuff and all of that. It's, it's the darker side, will they allow this to go through? Because I just think that everyone's so targeted. If you're not liked, people are targeted online and then they're stopped and then they're ridiculed, So that darkness is still working at the minute over there. Kennedy is a smart man. Well, I've just pulled this out over the top of him. You'll not go away, Kennedy, Look at that, what I've pulled out over the top of him. Success. King of Pentacles and success. If he gets the chance, there's a very damn good chance that he could be the next president. That's all I'm going to say on the matter at the minute. Yeah, I said about the man with the speech impediment. Right. I'm going to pull one more out. He's going to ask us a question. Then we're going to have a little break. Then we're going to get the crystal ball out and we're going to do some scrying. Robert Kennedy is anti-gun and pro-abortion. Republicans don't like that. Yeah, but there's a lot of Republicans like the Kennedys, don't there? I still think he's got a good chance. Now, if it was Biden running up against Trump, Trump will definitely win. It just depends. It's like chess, who gets there first. This is why they're trying to stop, they're trying to throw everything at Trump so that he can't run again. At the end of the day, peace will come to America. But you could face amnesty on the streets before that happens. But I love that because it's peace and angelic. Peace will come. I always get like peace on earth when I look at that. So it's all interesting stuff, isn't it? Oh, definitely khaki. Definitely. I think that where we've thought people have been good and where we thought people have been bad, I think there's a lot of people have gone switched to the dark side and vice versa. It's a bit like Star Wars, isn't it? Peace on earth, goodwill to men. I don't know if I'm getting that. Maybe Christmas is going to be a bit of a interesting time for we. And I want to say prep. We need to prep because we're going to have problems with food. I've got the Queen of Cups here. It's still giving us a feminine energy for the United States of America. But, that doesn't mean it's a president. It could be vice president. I don't know about Kamala. I don't feel she's strong enough. I do believe that I'm on about literally, but Trish, I do believe that the next election is going to be explosive. But all eyes around, that's Denmark, isn't it? I'm going to look into that in the crystal ball because the cards aren't giving us much on Denmark, and I'll see what is coming out. But that is a new leader who will bring peace into Denmark. Look how you've got the Danish ships there. I like the energy of that. There's a new leader, possibly brownish to the hair. Let's pull a couple of more cards out for Denmark. That's like a new doorway, a new opening, a new doorway. Danish people happy. I want to say after a few riots. But have we not already had them in Denmark? Or maybe there's some to come. A lot of corruption to be revealed from there. And it's something to do with the banks over there as well. But that's the Danish people celebrating. Definitely so. There is some scandals still to come out with Denmark. But peace will come to Denmark. The next leader will bring balance back into Denmark. God's got a plan. This world is huge. It's not just about the United States of America. So like every country's, they're just like he's picking people up and he's just dropping them off and he's just removing these people and just replacing them with new characters. Do you know what I mean? They'll be voting. There could be marches, there could be protests, and then I say peace. And a man who looks quite palish, quite nondescript looking actually, like brownish hair, pasty faced. And a dark haired woman. And peace will come again. I'm also seeing a man with very fair hair as well. No, it's the same guy. He's got like browny, fairish brown hair. Palish. Will bring peace back into Denmark. I'm saying that really, really strong. Really strong. There's the loned man there. It's like the calm before the storm, but things will settle down. There's the raven coming over the land of Denmark. The beautiful land. The lakes. Denmark's flat, Holland's flat. But where we've got a volcano there in the background, that's not to do with Denmark. Where there'll be big news with Denmark, there'll also be big news in around a volcano of an eruption. Not just one, two. Not just one, two. All right. So give us 5, guys, because I need the loo. I'm going to go make a coffee. And then we're going to get the crystal ball out. It's interesting that. Denmark will find peace eventually. Oh dear me, Holly. So go make yourselves a cuppa, whatever you're doing. Get your popcorn or your coffee or your tea or whatever. Your juice. And coffee time, yeah. Give us a few minutes. I'm going to go and make a coffee, nip to the loo, and skip to the loo. And I'm going to have a quick cigarette, and then I'll come back. And then we're gonna delve deep. Brigitta, Louise, you are right about the volcano eruption island. It's all over the news now. Is it? Oh no. Right. Give us 5. Right, go make your cuppas and I'll be back in a minute. I'm just going to put the picture on of my hometown and I'll be Okay, can you hear us? Was that not too long? Give us a 5-5 if you can hear us. Can you hear me? Yeah, good. Let's get the crystal ball. You know when there's something in the air and you just know something's going to happen, and that's what it feels like. I mean, I don't know what the energy feels like around the world where yous are, guys, but this evening, the air out there is so dead and calm, and it's like creepy. It's really creepy over here in the UK tonight. Well, it is in the north anyway. Okay. It's creepy there, is it? In Wales. Yeah, I believe, well, we picked up that once, didn't I? That there was, I think it was on Twitch, that I believe that there was some definitely sort of military underground stuff going on in Wales. And there was a lot of UFO sightings in Wales as well. Hiya, Michael. Okay, let's start. For people who've missed the stream halfway through, I've just pulled some cards out on different world events. We did healing prayers, so for people new coming in, you can write the names in the comments if you need any healing, and you will receive healing. The sound of freedom, I believe it's happening all over the world tonight, Judith. I believe that the sound of freedom is so apt to what we are going through at the moment. And Disney was supposed to release the Sound of Freedom, but held on to it and did not release it. Angle Studios stepped in and Disney had to release the Angel, wasn't it? Angel Studios had to release the film. That's why it took so long. But I believe it's happening across the world, and I believe we're going to experience so much by this time next year. And it's all to do with, it's just scandals after scandals, guys. But it has to happen. It's the big cleanup, what's happening across the planet. The Netherlands just got to see it. What's happened in the Netherlands, Debbie? There's going to be so many whistleblowers and scandals to come out. So let's see. Let's get some more coffee. People are acting very strange, Ismay. She said that in Twitch that people were fighting in Costco. I went along to the shops this afternoon to get my mum a birthday card and that, and just to do some little bits of shopping, because I don't live far from a shopping precinct. And there was a group of mothers standing, and they were like arguing, obviously over their kids. They'd come out because it was the time when the kids come out of school at 3:30. And they just sounded like a bunch of fishwives down at the docks. They were going at it. I thought this is going to end up in a physical fight, this. And all the kiddies were running around and that. And there was about 4 or 5 of them. And they were standing there and they were having a real good old argument. You know what I mean? And I thought, dear me. Dearie me. It was just like as you go down to the docks at the Tyne, you know. At the Tyne docks. Geordies will know what I'm going on about. You know, you get the fishermen people and the fish, what you get the saying, the fishwives, you know. She's like shouting like a fishwife. Oh, the poor children. Have you seen the film, have you, Jules? I don't think it's been released here in the UK yet. So I think it's affecting everybody, you know, because like I've always said, we're dealing with our own karma, and we're getting triggered so easy. On Thursday, I'll be doing the, I don't know what the planets are, I'll have to check it out, where the planets are lying, but I just think that plays a big part with people as well. But I'll be doing the horoscopes on Thursday for you guys, so watch out for that coming. Okay. It's like a wake-up call, isn't it, what's happening across the world? And it's all about what's coming out in this crystal ball. It's all to do with perversion in crime. It's all coming out. Oh, you found a copy of it on Telegram and downloaded it. I can't seem to access Telegram and I don't know why. Can you send us it? I'm dead cheeky, aren't I? Can you email us it? It's on Rumble, is it? Anyway, I'll not be able to watch you. I'll not be able to watch the chat when I'm doing this, okay? So apologies there. Right, let's have a look. Let's see what's going on. Right, so apparently there's a big volcano in Iceland at the minute, and it's always been there, and it's spewing out more lather at the minute. It's getting ready to rumble. Let's hope it doesn't, and where it causes problems for the air for the people in Iceland. I've got one of my dear friends, Bjorn. I don't know if he's in the audience tonight, and he lives in Iceland. But there could be. She's very angry, that volcano. She's very, very angry. There could be problems there. But I'm not saying it's the whole of Iceland, but there could be surrounding area that might have to be careful, or they might have to move out of the area. I'm also seeing that there's a volcano what could take off again around the Hawaiian Islands as well. Okay. So Putin's about to strike on something, because I'm being shown this, and I'm getting 10 or 11, and I'm still seeing the Prime Minister of Belarus. I still see his face there very, very strong. And I get there's something dodgy about him. He's not to be trusted. So something about Turkey with him. It's coming out really strong. Remember when I'm seeing visions and I'm scrying, it's like as I'm looking into a kaleidoscope. But there's some big information to come out there. There's some big stuff to come out. He did go on, I was talking about this on Sunday night actually. He did see a speech in Belarus at a conference. I can't think of his name. You know who I'm going on about, the Prime Minister of Belarus. That he was scoffing that he had the Russian codes to the nuclear codes. And I don't believe that for 1 minute. I wouldn't have believed that, Putin would do that. But there is something funny going on over there in Russia at the minute. And it was all to do with that Wagner thing as well. That was very strange how he left. He was sent over to Belarus, and then he left Belarus and went back to Russia. There's more to that than meets the eye. It could have been a distraction. But I feel very, very strongly that something's about to kick off over there. And you're going to hear of somebody who's going to be, and this sounds really horrible, but I'm getting the word assassinated. So watch for that. But that, I don't know who that actually is. But people are going to be talking about this, and it's going to be all over world news, different people dissecting it. And there's something about to kick off over there. I'm getting that really, really strong. And as you know, since I've last been on, you've had President Biden with these, what's it called, them certain bombs. And the UK is against it. And it's just bloody crazy what's happening at the minute. What's them bombs called that he's supplied them with? What's them bombs called? Does anybody know in the audience? So that's going to cause problems as well. Cluster bombs, which aren't very nice. That's just like antagonising Putin. It's not good. But it's also that it can hurt a lot of people as well. So, Musemaster. Oh, it's going up too fast. Okay, I'll just get on with this scrying. So I am feeling it's as if that there's going to be problems there, and it could start something. As I see that, I see ships in the sea and something about a problem with a navy, like a naval ship. I haven't got knits, guys, by the way. I've just dyed my hair, and I always get itchy scalp when I first dyed my hair. Okay. There's going to be a problem. There's going to be like a standoff. I'm getting this really strong. But it doesn't mean it's going to come to anything, but there's going to be a problem. And it's something to do with ocean. I've seen this for a while. I also want to send healing and protections to the people of Poland. And surrounding areas like Romania and places like that. My fear is that there could be something set off here. And it depends where the wind takes it. Do you understand? But there could be a problem there. But it's not all eyes on Putin. It's all eyes on the Belarus guy. That's what you need to watch for. And I'm also getting a strange feeling about Zelensky tonight as well. There's going to be like a big falling out. And it's a three-way situation between three countries. But I do see these cluster bombs being sent off, and there's going to be a lot of problems. And that's going to instigate Putin to do something. Every time I'm looking at Putin, you know, I see him with old paperwork, and it's like it goes back to World War II, or maybe it's before. Oh, thank you, Border Collie. It goes back, way back, and it's something about rights of land. Remember everything that we've been told on world screens. We're not getting all the truth here. Okay. So, but since all of this has happened with Ukraine and Russia, there was a lot of stuff going on borders. And a lot of money was being made. But it's not just going on over there, it's going on all over the world. It's global. And it sort of connects and comes in with the sound of freedom, but also other things as well. All right? And gold comes in on this as well, and a lot of money. Black market money, all that type of thing. I see this big truck. Is it a big cargo truck? And it's got, God, this is awful, this. And it looks like it's got lots of children in it. Immigrant children. And it's going to be on world news. And there's a lot of things to come out over the next I don't know if it's 2 weeks or 2 months. And it's to do with, it's definitely before Christmas, definitely. And it's something to do with children in a truck, and there's going to be an outrage about this, and it's near borders. I want you to remember this, guys. And I've been saying this for ages, that there's going to be a lot of problems with borders. But it's to do with the situation. And I can see people fleeing over borders. And it's like a humanitarian crisis, so you need to watch for this. So all these wars is all about greed and money. So it's like it's building up, that's what I see. But I'm also seeing a situation to take place in the Middle East as well. Because I'm seeing something about Iran, and Iran stepping in with Russia or something like that. And I'm seeing the United States in a bit of a palaver or a bit of trouble. You need to watch for this. There's a lot of mistakes Putin's made. But there's also a lot of mistakes Biden's made. Listen very carefully to what I'm getting. This is a big mistake to do with the cluster bombs, and it's going to cause something. We need peace again, and peace will come to the United States of America. But it's as if it's like it's all been perpetrated and it's all been meant to happen because they've wanted this. And this is what I'll go back to, and I'll still see it now, right? That, you know, I might not agree with all Trump's policies, right? But at least when Trump was in, right? At least when Trump was in, he was a good president, and there was no wars. There was no wars going on. There was peace. He even made peace with the Middle East, for God's sake. Do you know what I mean? He shook hands with Kim Jong-un. How many presidents have done that? You know what I mean? So this has been like, it's just been like a different world, a completely different world, what's happening at the moment. And it's about to get worse before it gets better. Okay. But like I say, people are play their part when they're meant to play their part. We haven't heard the last of Trump. I'm just can't figure out what's going to happen because there's so many players on this chessboard as I'm looking in here. And it's like the race to the finishing line. But it does look like we could be facing some WW111 event. But that doesn't mean it's global, but it is a crisis because it's going to cause problems with air. Could be the cluster bombs I'm saying, it doesn't have to be nuclear, but there's going to be problems with air. I want you to remember that. So many changes to take place on this planet. And it's like as I look into this crystal ball, I'm seeing Gaia's veins and her skeleton, Mother Earth, and it's all the old energy what's been trapped in the United States of America across the globe. It's ancient ancestors rising, guys. It's ancient ancestors rising. But there is other presidents to come in who will also not be warmongers. Listen carefully to what I'm saying. It is not the end of the world if Trump doesn't get back in, because there's other presidents who could also do this. But you haven't heard the last of him. I'm seeing my Uncle Matty. I've talked about this before in my live streams before. Uncle Matty, who was a war hero in World War One, and he died in Flanders Fields. And it's funny because I'm being shown Flanders Fields, all them young souls throughout history, not just to do with World War One and Two. And it's always been about money. And I see his face again. Oh, God bless him. He's my youngest son, Adam, is the double of him. And there was you're going to laugh at this, right? In the UK, we always have the war of the adverts for Christmas, okay? And is it John Lewis always seems to do it? John Lewis, it's a department store. They always seem to win it always, okay? It's like who gets the best advert. It's something that we do over here. And there was one year with John Lewis that it was going back to World War One, and it was on Flanders Fields in France, and you had the Germans fighting against the English, okay, the soldiers, and then it was Christmas morning, and then they all stopped firing, and then they started to play football on this field. And it was really emotional. If anyone hasn't seen it, if I find it, I'll put it up on my wall, on my community page, on my YouTube, and also on my Facebook page, okay, my business page, so you can see it. And it was just like these men on both sides were forced to go to war and they didn't want to. And then at the end they were sharing chocolate, and it was chocolate and cigarettes, and it was just the you know, like the spirit of Christmas, what it's all about. And Matty's just come in, Uncle Matty. Well, he wasn't my Uncle Matty, he was my mum's Uncle Matty, if you know what I mean. My mother's Uncle Matty, great Uncle Matty. And he's just come in there. I'm going to show you a picture of him, actually. See if I can find him. Uncle Matty. And he came in and he showed us that time is coming again. But because he's saying, and I'm getting him here really strong, I hope my family's watching, my mother's cousins and that, because we all have something in common about it, that before there was the announcement of World War One with Hitler, because it was Hitler then as well, wasn't it? Can you remember that, June Ritchie? That advert? That they had obviously they didn't have social media then, but they had radio. But they had a depression. They had inflation. They had poverty, because it was the system. And they created this war, and they're doing it again. This is what he's saying. He's coming in with all his mates who lost their life. Matty was one of the last ones to go out into this mining field. They kept sending him out in 2 and 3s into the trenches, and he was the last one when went out with his mate and he got blown up. I need to go over there to see his grave. I've got his grave number and that. I'm going to see if I can find this and show you. Uncle Matty. I've got to show you this. Give us 2 minutes. I talk a lot, guys, for people who've just come in new. It's just the way I am. Where's Uncle Matty gone? And I've just literally seen him there. I've talked about it when he rang us up from the night of the museum. It was a haunted museum. Where is he? It's like he wants to communicate with us. It's coming back again. And they're giving us calling up people. Calling up people. Oh my God. It's like something that's going to be on the edge of our seats. But we will come through it. I've got to find Uncle Matty to show you. I've got loads of pictures of UFOs and lights in the sky here, you know, guys. Look at that one. That was like a cigar-shaped one I caught in the sky. Got loads of them. So spirit can come through phones as well. Spirit can come through many different ways. There's Uncle Matty. He was 27, I believe. And he was a miner, because we came from a mining pit village and they were all called up. Yeah, I know. But I feel, obviously I never knew him physically, but you know when you feel you're connected with somebody spiritually. So I've got Uncle Matty here and he's saying, and I've brought in Charlie Chaplin before. I think I channeled him in Disney. You're talking old Walt Disney, who's not happy the way Disney's gone, by the way. But they were all strong advocates for free speech. I've talked about them before. They've all come through together. And then there was another guy called, I can't remember his name. I channeled him. And he was an outspitch. And he kept the people going by writing poems and telling them tales and stories. And he came through. They've all been coming through and saying this time is coming again. So what they do is every couple of hundred years, they try this, they do this. Wars against humanity have been going on a long, long time. But there is a cluster of rot. Listen carefully to what I'm saying. And the film, which has just recently come out, the Freedom film, okay? That is just the start of it. That's the tipping point of it. Because this is on a global network. And it's all entwined. I've been saying this for a long, long time since I've been on here for the last 5 years. There's a world we know and a hidden world we do not know. And as we are going into this new age, new technologies being manoeuvred in, there's a fight going on about who's controlling it. But it's also disrupting the cockroaches, the criminals, the mafia organisations, the cabal, whatever you want to call them. And they're linked with all of this, right? And it's on a global network. But it doesn't just stay with them. It's also entwined within certain people. Yeah, Maria, send us it over. That's fine. So I'm getting there's like this energy of this building up. It's like they're going to create an event or something like that. There's going to be problems with food trade. There's more to come. I mean, we're noticing it now as we're buying our food in the stores. Vegetables aren't as fresh. Things are out of stock, like eggs and stuff like that. But there's going to be a shortage of certain foods, so we need to stock up. But it's fresh produce, what's coming through here, very, very strong. So I've been saying this, if you can, try and grow your own vegetables if you can, or stock up. It's not a permanent thing, but I do believe that we could be facing a crisis, and it's definitely coming in before 2025. Okay. So we are ascending, Mother Gaia is ascending with all that trapped energy, what's been happening with our ancestors, of all these endless wars, what's happened in the past. So it's all collected energy. Then you've had all the slavery, what's happened in the US, what happened to the Native Americans when they lost their land. You're going back to the Civil War, unrest on the Canada border. And of course, a lot happened there with the Civil War, didn't it? Banking systems. There's going to be possibly a crash of the US dollar, but it's short. It's short. And at that time, there's going to be a switchover. I want to say crypto is a good thing to get into. If you can, not everybody can get into it. So there's a switchover happening. But the end result is it's like the roaring 20s again. We'll come through it and we will be okay. We're fighting for freedom. We're fighting for free speech. It's about rawness over the next 2 to 3 years. We're going through a massive download of human consciousness. What's coming in for it. We are starting to be real. There's a movement happening. I keep getting the Himalayas. I've had this before. Problems with lands. Into the end of the year, there's going to be some crazy weather as well. I'm seeing mudslides, Pakistan, watch out. Earthquakes. BRICS is going to become on the rise. And India could lead the way with economy. Okay. Of course, we had that terrible shooting what took place in China. And no matter what people think of the Chinese people, it's not the Chinese people, it's the government. But the Chinese people don't have very large families over there. There was a restriction for them to only have one child. I think now they just have 2. I really don't know. Is it 2 or 3? I really don't know. But they don't have large families. And they dedicate their children, they put a lot of education into their children and all of this type of thing. But there was little babies and they were murdered in a nursery, in a kindergarten. That's just recently happened. So God bless them little children. And apparently it happens quite a lot. But the Chinese government doesn't allow and doesn't put this out on the news. But it got leaked out. Apparently there's a lot of knife attacks over there as well. But children got murdered. God bless them little children. And God bless the parents what's lost the children. So we're going to have... Somebody's put here Hazeltine, terrible floods in Vermont at the minute. I believe that we could have some crazy weather because everything's changing. There's going to be a lot of floods, flooded area. So I worry and concern about the flat areas in the UK. And if you can, try and invest in storm drains around your house. I'm also seeing the dam in China that looks a little bit strange. But I don't know if it's that or something else, or it's something to do with tsunami or water. A problem with water, and I see this vision of people being trapped. I've seen this before. Problem with subway, trap, smoke, get out. 11 is connected. It's underground subway. So you'd get something like that in China, Japan, wouldn't you? New York City. I don't think it's New York. Well, it looks like there's a lot of Asians on the train. The seas are going to be very angry this winter, this year. So we could have storms of the century before the year's out. The biggest threat to humanity, what we're going to face, all right, apart from the fact of threat of nuclear war, which I hope that doesn't happen, but the cluster bombs worries us. It's not nice. Do you know what I mean? It shouldn't be allowed. Is cyber attack. And people will think, well, so what? We don't have internet. But you've got to understand it. It runs hospitals, light and heat. It keeps people alive. There's going to be a problem. But this is on a large scale. And this could be when they could manoeuvre in this new technology. There's a new internet to come in. There's a new technology to come in. Because it's something about the air. Because planes can't take off. Now, bearing in mind, sometimes I can read a few years out. Do you know what I mean? Cyber attack. But it seems like it's on a large area. Where people don't know what the time is. We lose time. It's dark. It's thick. And we don't know what the time is. It's like we've lost time. Everything will stand still. Dark days to come. That's when the switchover will happen. Let's hope that timeline doesn't take place. But I want to say that it has to take place. They'll use this to bring in this new technology. We're going to go very futuristic. Extremely futuristic. Laurie, UFO sightings this year. Okay. I've just seen Trudeau here in this crystal ball, and they're showing us that he's not going to be there long. There's going to be re-election or election or somebody else coming in. Would they do like they did with Rishi Sunak, that they would just select within the House? It's not for the people, but I see Trudeau leaving. Trudeau leaving. Water shortage. Warning, beware. When this event takes place, it will affect food, cargo, but problems with water. I'm going to give you some numbers here, guys. I want you to write them down. 16, 21, 28, 29. Remember them. But at that point, because certain parts of the world is restricted, air quality, cargo blocked, stopped, other countries will step in and BRICS will rise. Remember everything I'm telling you. And Africa will lead the way with this rich land. Great trade will take place. Getting the animals running. I'm fascinated with lions at the moment. Fascinated. Man will never be removed off this planet. Man will rise. New man will rise. Warrior of new age man. Don't give your power away. Okay. Without us actually going on a rant about things, you know what I mean? But we've got all this woke agenda stuff. And it's like, I just feel it's like it's trying to take away free thinking, a man and a woman type of thing. Do you know what I mean? And it's sort of like got manoeuvred into the LGBT community. I talked about this on Sunday night. And I just think they're using that. Do you know what I mean? And it's, as a gay woman, I am speaking from the truth here, right? That I just think and feel very, very strongly that they're using this wokeness, they're using this community to maneuver in sleaze. And it shouldn't be. And I'm not talking about transgender people because I've got dear friends who are transgenders. I'm talking about the whole concept of it all, and to take people's rights away, to maneuver it into schools, and you can't say this and you can't say that, and all of that type of thing. It's it takes the voices of people to stand up. But God created man and God created woman. And I'm going to leave it at that. It's meant to divide. And I'll be honest with you, why do I have to say that we're gay? Why do I have to say we're coming out? You know, you wouldn't walk into a bar and say, well, I am straight. Hi, I am such and such. I'm Mary and I'm straight. It's silly. Do you know what I mean? Why has everything got to have a label? And, you know, I channel the extraterrestrials, you know, as you know, in the angel realm. And they say it's like everything's putting a restriction on this planet and it shouldn't be. And the extraterrestrials don't agree with it either. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to sexualize things within schools as well, definitely. And it's going to take the voice of freedom as well. The sound of freedom, the voice of freedom. But it all comes down to parents, for them to speak. What we've been doing, where we've been going wrong, is we've been giving it away as a human collective. We've been giving it away to politicians and leaders. And no, it's about us standing that our children, they're not their children. Transgender community is being over-commercialised, definitely so. I mean, I couldn't give a flying fuck, you know, what you are. Do you know what I mean? I just think that I just don't agree with putting it into schools and ramming it down kids' necks. It should be down to the parents. That's what I believe. And I believe there's a lot of people out there believe the same. Because that's how it messes with kids' minds. So I believe parents are going to take a rise. So there could be marches on this to come, you know what I mean? Protest marches. And it comes to something when you can't talk about it, you've got to watch your P's and Q's. You've got to watch what you're saying. You know what I mean? Next they'll be wanting to control the air we breathe and the thoughts. We know what you're thinking. How dare you? Do you know what I mean? And I think it's about us stepping back and not being bullied. Yeah? And I know there's many people in the gay community who would think the same as me as well. Let's see what else I can see. I've had me little rant there for the night. I think that you should never sexualise children. I think that there should be... I just think that it shouldn't be so. And it certainly shouldn't be in children's books and stuff like that. But I just think it goes really, really deep to what they're up to. You know what I mean? And you can't remove all the darkness of the planet. You really, really can't. But there's been an imbalancement. And what's happening here is there's a download of spiritual human consciousness coming in from Star People, Angel Realm. And we're going to get there's a wave, a beautiful blue wave coming across this planet, and it's going to help us all with free speech in a nice way, not in a nasty way, in a nice way. But nothing should be divided. It really, really shouldn't. Be who you want to be, but at the same time, don't put restrictions onto other people. And certainly don't force children. It should be down to the parents. Do you know what I mean? I'm just going to put this down for a minute because it's heavy. There'll be a rise with parents on this. And there's a lot of people at the minute starting to homeschool their children. It's happening in the UK. It's happening all over. But I think teachers are going to start speaking up as well. You know, I think you're going to be surprised. Well, I can definitely see it happening in the UK. I personally don't think that they should. I mean, if you're going into nature, you know, it doesn't have to be where it has to be in children's books about. Now, don't shoot us for this, guys. Penguins can be gay. Do you know that? Penguins can be gay. I was watching this documentary where two male penguins, were in love, and they did a documentary on it, and I thought it was really, really sweet. So you could put something like that, like two penguins being together in a book. It doesn't have to be but it doesn't have to be sexualized. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be sexualized. This is what annoys us. Gay dolphins as well, and gay penguins. Yeah. But what I'm saying to you is that if penguins, get this one, guys, and I'm going to say something to you now. If penguins can be gay, that means God made them like that. So that means that God's made us to be like that as well, some of us to be like that. It's man in the darkness of life what's restricted and put into groups. And that's how it's gone all horrible and fanatical. But I just think that it shouldn't be that way. It really, really shouldn't be that way. But I also feel as a mother, not just as a gay woman, because I wasn't always a gay woman. Well, I've always been gay, but, you know, I thought I was bi when I was younger, but what I'm saying to you is I didn't get me kids from underneath a gooseberry bush. Do you know what I mean? I got them from two men. I'm being honest with you, right? The father of my two children. And as a mother, I just think that there should be protocol. And I certainly, if my boys were little now and I was sent them to school, I would not want them to be entertained by a sleazy person who was trying to tell them about sex. It's just not on. You do not do that. You protect children. And that's what I feel like. And that's what I feel people need to talk about this more. And now, as you know, I'm a grandmother with a granddaughter, and I don't know what it is about little girls. You're just very protective with little girls, you know what I mean? And there's no way that I would want her to be listening to stuff like that. My whole family feels the same. And I feel that there's many parents out there feel the same. And there's nothing to be ashamed of. How dare people tattle with for feeling like that? And I think it's about time that people started stepping up the mark and protecting children. Till this sorts out. Basically. It needs to be sorted out. Monkeys swing both ways as well. So the animal kingdom do it, but they're not living in a society where they're told they're gay. They're just allowed to love who they want to love. So what they've done is they've used this group to try and make it perverted, and it's not perverted. The majority of myself, my gay friends, my transgender friends, we are not perverted. But we are made to look perverted, and it's being made to look as a divide, and it's not. It shouldn't be that way. It should just be organic. Everybody should be allowed to love who they want, and it shouldn't be talked about. It's got nothing to do with politics or anything like that, or governments. You know what I mean? It's just, what planet have we been born onto? I mean, they made gay men they made it illegal for gay men. It was only passed, wasn't it, in the 60s? What planet have we been born on? You know what I mean? It shouldn't be like that. But at the same time, it's like we have to protect our children. And I think that the system is breaking when it comes to the education system. And the only way it's going to be rebuilt is for the voice of parents to speak up and to put their views in. You turn on the TV and it's all about sex. Exactly. And then the poor teenagers, you know what they're up against with society and music and what's subliminal messages, what's in the music. It's all about sex. Let me put some cards out on that and see. This is what I'm feeling. It's like, are we in the dark days? You know, but I see lightness at the end of it. And it takes the voice of people to sort it out. They're putting it down on the LGBT. They've used the LGBTQ, I don't know what Q is about, community to use the propaganda. But I've also talked, I mean, I went on a rant about this and I wasn't going to clip it. I was going to clip it and put it out here, but I may as well just tell you now. Go down onto the gay scene, you know, in town, and it's notorious what young gay men are up against, because you get these sleazy older men who are trying to groom them in that, and it's the truth. It is the truth what's actually happening down there on the gay scene, and it's a dangerous times, you know what I mean? And it's true what they say, it's a man's world, but young men are being very, what's the word? You have to protect not just our daughters, we have to protect our young men as well. Anybody out there who's got a son who's gay and they're just coming out, I would be very worried about them going down on the gay scene, because unless they went with a friend to keep them safe, because it's just, there's some really grooming horrible people out there, do you know what I mean, who would take the naivety of a young teenager or a young adult, and it can be a cruel world out there. I'm just saying it's the truth, and it's what's going on the streets out there. But we'll never take away Adam and Eve. That's the world. That's the way it is. You can't say mother and father either. It's birth and person and donor. Never. It's a transition we're going through, and that's part of our evolution for us to stand up, because what we've done is we've given away our rights for too long. We're giving away our rights for too long. It's a timing, but we're going to come through it. But it's going to, I would say we're in the eye of it all. Is it the book of Revelation? I really don't know. Comment on the link below, guys, what you think. But it's using what next. They've tried it with all sorts of different communities. What next will they do? But the majority of gay people, and I'm speaking this as I know, we are not like that, and we don't want that. And I just think that it's been used for propaganda, and it's been used for this transgender thing. What they're doing is they're pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. Over here, they don't push it the same on the kids like they do, I've heard, in the States and places like that, but they are doing this, and they need to stop doing this. They're using it. I can't even imagine why they would do that, but there is a very dark side to it. And I don't even want to go further into this on this stream. It's for another time, in another place. And because because you're having all this leaked out, what's happened with the BBC, my feeling is it's to do with men and young men. That's my feeling. I'm just feeling that there's going to be a lot more of this to come out. People need to talk about it. There's a lot to come out. And according to these cards here, it's going to 4 years. 4 years. I want to say the whole damn lot will be drained. So work that one out, guys. That's how big it is. 4 years from now, it's going to take for all the rot to come out. But 4 years from now, 5 years from now, parents have more rights in schools, there's more freedom, new systems, and a group of women to come forward. It might be in the United States. It's a black lady, a couple of women together, a white lady. There's a few of them. They're all getting together. They're forming this group. It's on the television. Everyone's talking about it. And it's about parents' rights. And they've all come together and they've formed this group. And they're starting this movement, but it's going to really help parents and children. So watch for that to come out. But I mean, there's so many different words now that you can't say. You know what I mean? I really don't feel... I think what they're trying to do is... they're trying to take away our thought action so that we can... don't think for ourselves, really. Basically, you know, when I talk about they... I feel that it's, you know, a group of very evil people. Some of them we probably wouldn't even know. The controllers, whatever you want to call them, who are, be it either they've been born that way or they've got attachments or they just know about the greed, what's going on within Hollywood and whatever, how they can, you get so far up that ladder and what you can have, you become bored. So then you go off on these, what's the word? You go off on these sort of like tangents of twisted reality. And that's how evil comes in. But everybody has free will. And what I'm going to say to you tonight is God is watching. God is watching. But whatever God you believe in or whatever, we're being watched. And the good always comes out in the end. The good always wins in the end. It always wins in the end. They're looking for the next high, whatever it is. Definitely. The cards are here are saying 4 to 5 years here, guys. So I would say, I don't believe for 1 minute that the world is going to end. I don't believe that. I believe it's the end of the world of what we know before this new earth comes in. Remember, there's a lot of hidden codes in the Bible, in all the holy books. But it's these evil controllers will have no choice in the end, but we've got to do the work. It's not always about who's in power, who's in the White House or who's in Parliament. It's about, that's where we've gone wrong. It's about us doing the work. And I'm not talking about causing World War III on bloody the streets. I don't mean that. I'm talking about we're just going around to the correct way, the proper way, forming groups, coming together in communities, putting the ideas out. And there's a rise of this, what's going to happen over the next couple of years. We are definitely, as Jenny says, and I've always said, we are spirit beings in a meat suit. And because we've become we are multidimensional, we always have been, that because of this spiritual awakening, I think what it's done is it's how's that? All right. What it's done is they're freaking out because they know that we know that now and we know what we can do with the power of our voice. So there's going to be possibly a lot of restrictions will be flung at we over the next 6 months to a year. And it's about not being afraid, just speaking your truth. Does the bad extraterrestrials have anything to do with the controllers? I believe so, yes. Because I believe that I don't look at things all like, you know, how you get certain people in the truth community and that they say, oh, it's like, you know, the white hats are in control and the good guys are here. That's just looking at it very black and white. There's a grey area. I think there's good and bad throughout the galaxy. My understanding is that there was rogue extraterrestrials broke away from the Federation. Federations, you know, there's more than one, came and made treaties with these people, these dark individuals. And it's all about greed and money. And that's what Hitler was up to. Basically, they never went away, the Nazis. They just went off underground and off into space. You question everything once you come out of this matrix. Do you know what I mean? You question absolute everything. But we're going to be all right in the end. We really, really are. It keeps saying it's going to take a few years to sort out. But I would say that the majority of it is going to happen over the next 18 months to 5 years. Yes, Debbie. The watchers are watching. But you've got the good watchers. 8 of Pentacles is wealth again for humanity. Inflation is rising. It's all part of the plan, what they've wanted to do, but the end result is good. This world is going to be so unrecognisable, I would say 10 years from now. 10 years from now, so unrecognisable. But I see hope. Hope is on the horizon, but we've got to do our work as well. It's about not getting angry. It's about getting, well, you can if you want, but getting even. I like that. And don't get angry, get even. There's more than one way to skin a cat. All these different sayings. There's 2 sides to a penny. But what they'll never be able to remove, and I'm going to say this to you, right? And the extraterrestrials that I channel don't want this either. They'll never be able to remove God's creation, even though they want to, and fiddle on with God's creation. And, you know, everyone has the human right to be who they want to be. I understand that. But there's like a literal of taken over with it, isn't it? But they'll never be able to remove man and woman. They'll never be able to fiddle on with, they're trying to do that. They're trying to change it. They're trying to change what God created and science and all of that. But they're never going to be able to remove religion off the planet either. They don't want to. It's part of our right being human. Do you know what I mean? And yes, there's a lot of radical stuff going on within the church and that. Because everything, this hidden snake, can attach not just to the controllers, it can attach to people, and that's how you get cults and stuff like that. Oh yes, they will do, Holly. But the way I see it is that it's not as black and white as it looks, how it's going to pan out. Basically, how far do you want to go down that rabbit hole? It is dark. But at the end, we can change this into light, not to be afraid. That's what we are. We're playing out our karma on earth at the minute. All these endless wars, what's been done, you know, and it's all about money. Everything's about money. Okay. I just thought I'd tell you that little story about the penguins, the two penguins. I don't know if you've seen it. It was a documentary. I didn't know this either, that swans, when they partner up, they stay together for life. They're very loyal swans. They stay with their partner for life, a swan. Did you know that, guys? And I think the albatross do it as well. So do penguins, yes. Geese do as well. The animals are ascending, you know, guys. I've just seen fingerprints in here, so they're going to do a thing with fingerprints. That's coming in next. I've talked about that before, haven't I? Cardinals and ducks. The crows too as well. Birds are very, very intelligent. Even the wood pigeon. Seahorses too. We've got to protect the animals as well, haven't they? Because God knows what they've been feeling. They're free from it, you know. They're not forced to with the monetary stuff. They live freely, but they've got to go out and hunt for their food, haven't they? So we did that. We did that before this system. When we were cavemen. Not all of it, but most of it. We had that hunting ability, you know, away from the dinosaurs or whatever. And that's coming back again. Because once you start to come out the matrix, that heightened flight comes back, that we become more like cats, you know, like hunters, which they don't want it to be. And it's part of your psychic abilities. Super soldiers develop that in their brain when they're going through their training. So we're all finding the warrior within we're again. And we are the Fred and Wilma Flintstones. This is bedrock, guys. This is bedrock. So it's like we have ascended and we're going up a frequency. We're becoming more spiritual. We'll be able to realize who we are as spiritual beings. And we are being able to realize what we are capable of. And that's what they don't want. But we're actually, by ascending, we're actually going back in time. Never had that one before. I get downloads all the time. When we are ascending and realizing who we are as spiritual beings, we are actually going back to our ancient ancestral roots. Yeah? So we are going back in time, really. Are we in Atlantis? Are we coming out of Atlantis? We are freeing. We are not just freeing us. What is time? We are freeing our ancestors' pain. We are not just healing our wounds, we're healing our ancestors' pain. We are healing Gaia. I see light codes coming in and great new healing technology to take place on this planet. Great new healing techniques coming in with healers, alternative healers. And a herb which will be talked about. It could just be a weed or a plant, which is going to be found, get this one, guys, to have the most remarkable healing abilities and be able to cure disease. and it's a common weed or something. I want you to remember that. That's going to come out. They'll try and stop it, but it'll not. It'll be wrote about. Many people will be talking about it. I would say that all of this is to come out within the next year or so. But I hope that's helped, guys. I'm thinking if there's anything else. Changes coming in around Australia government. Hover cars to come in next. Hover cars. When this new technology comes in, hover cars will come in next. Never mind electric, there's a new fuel to come in, and it's extraterrestrial energy. Something about Trump Towers just come in there as I'm pulling away from it. They'll try 2 or 3 things with impeachments, but he will walk out. He will walk out. Just worry about him. I can't put my finger on it. It's near double doors, near a large building. Children singing again. Children are happy. Singing for the world. I want to send healing and blessings out to all the changes taking place across the planet and great fires to come for the animal kingdom. When the dark days come and the time stops, it will stand still. These will be the dark days, which is talked about in the Holy Book. Then the revelation will come. The revelation will come. I just feel we're living in times where science is meeting religion, and we will win this holy war. And I'm going to leave you there with a lot of love from Spirit. One more thing I'm getting, watch for big news coming in around the Vatican and Italy. I want to send healing and blessings out to everybody around the world, wherever you all are. Watch the skies, guys. It's big. It is going to be huge. Lots of sightings to come in. People, individual groups. Not all of them are extraterrestrial, mind. You just know. You would just know. You get that feeling. Big changes take place in the White House. Big changes, big transitions to come in. Switching over from many different levels around the globe. Number 6 and 7 will go down in history, and I'm going to leave that one with you. I hope you have enjoyed that, and I'll be back on again soon. And to all my lovely new followers coming in on Twitch and YouTube, thank you and welcome. And don't forget, guys, check that you're still subscribed to my YouTube channel, and don't forget to give us a like, and I'll see you all again soon. I'll be on Thursday night. You're going to get your horoscopes and maybe it's a little bit extra. Take care, guys, and may the force be with you all. Good night. I'm off to make a hot chocolate.